My dear subscribers, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to this new video which is based on the explanation and exposition of technical or productive efficiency and allocative efficiency in one diagram. So let me start with the context of new classical model in which I am using production possibility frontier and social indifference curve. Social indifference curves or social indifference curve map to explain both technical as well as allocative efficiency that are taking place at one point. So I'll be discussing efficiency and indifference, and I'm using social indifference map and production possibility frontier to explain allocative and technical efficiency in one diagram. In this diagram, this is two-dimensional diagram, and let us suppose the society is producing two goods. One is clothing and the other one is food. So clothing is measured along the horizontal axis and food is measured along the y-axis or the vertical axis. This curve, which is concave to the origin, represents production possibility frontier. This is also known as production possibility curve, and another name of this curve is production possibility boundary. So any point on this production possibility curve or the production possibility frontier will be productively efficient or technically efficient. We must note that the society may produce either food, and in which case, when all the resources are implied, then the society can produce this much amount of food and zero of clothing. Or on the other hand, if the society allocates all the resources to the production of clothing, then the maximum amount of clothing and nothing of food will be produced. Or the society can produce any combination of clothing and food along this line, and if the production takes place on any point on the production possibility frontier, then there will be technical efficiency or productive efficiency. So efficiency in production will be achieved on any point along this production possibility frontier. Since all points on this production possibility frontier will be technically efficient, but all technically efficient points on production possibility curve may not necessarily be allocatively efficient. And in order to be allocatively efficient, we may also use social indifference curves. So there are three social indifference curves. This is I, and this one is I1, and this one is I2. So any combination or any production along this line will not be allocatively efficient. Similarly, if you try to reach this indifference curves, this social indifference curve, with the help of all the available resources, then it is unattainable or impossible. So in this situation, this is the only point where the economy is productively as well as allocatively efficient. So the question is how. I'll explain this with the help of these points. As I mentioned, all points along this production possibility frontier are productively efficient. These are also known as technically efficient points, and all points along the community or social indifference curves yield the same level of satisfaction. So allocative efficiency will be achieved at that point on the production possibility frontier when the slope of the community indifference curve is equal to the slope of production possibility frontier, or when marginal rate of substitution between clothing and food is equal to the marginal rate of product transformation of clothing and food. So in this scenario, Q is the only point where both technically and allocative efficiency is achieved, because this meets this mentioned criteria. Here the slope of the social indifference curve and the slope of the production possibility curve is exactly equal. If we attempt to shift outwards to the higher indifference curve, say I2, no point on that curve will intersect the production possibility frontier. It is not possible to achieve this level of satisfaction. So the society or the economy cannot reach the satisfaction level on this indifference curve. This is impossible or unattainable. Similarly, if we want to shift inwards to say I1 social indifference curve, then we reduce the total amount of satisfaction that can be achieved, because I1 is lower as compared to the position of I. So along this indifference curve or this social indifference curve, the satisfaction level will be lower. So even if we choose combination of goods that is productively efficient, that is at this point or at this point, there will be no allocative efficiency. So there is just one point on the production possibility curve that is both productively and allocatively efficient, because it lies on the indifference curve that is tangential to the production possibility frontier. And we can also prove that with the help of mathematical manipulation or explanation. Now, if you look at point Q, the slope of the social indifference curve denoted by I is equal to the slope of production possibility frontier. So marginal rate of substitution and marginal rate of product transformation both are equal at point Q, and this implies that the price ratio of clothing and food is equal to the marginal rate of substitution, that is the ratio of marginal utility of clothing divided by marginal utility of food, and that in turn is also equal to the marginal cost of clothing and marginal cost of food, and ultimately this is also equal to the ratio of price of clothing and price of food. And it implies, we can write this, that price of clothing is equal to marginal utility of clothing, and that in turn is equal to the marginal cost of clothing. Similarly, price of food is also equal to the marginal utility of food, and that in turn is equal to marginal cost of food. So both the demand and supply sides are equal to each other. This is because in microeconomic, in equilibrium, price of a good is equal to the marginal utility derived from it. So that is the demand side. And you remember that in perfect competition, marginal cost curve is also the supply curve of a firm in the short run. Similarly, below here, this is the price of food, and that is equal to the marginal utility derived from food, and it also is equal to the marginal cost of F, which is supply. So in both the equation, the demand and supply sides are equal. So that is why the technical efficiency or the productive efficiency is achieved at Q, and this is the supply side, but on the demand side, this is what the society desires. So this much of cloth will be produced and this much of food will be produced. So it is clear that there is only one point on the production possibility curve and the social indifference curve I, which is Q, at which both slope of SIC and slope of PPF, that is marginal rate of substitution between the two goods, and marginal rate of product transformation of one in terms of another, both are equal to each other. So this is how technical efficiency or productive efficiency and allocative efficiency takes place at one point. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope this was interesting for you. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, kindly do subscribe to the channel, and do not forget to click on the bell icon so that you can get timely notification about my other videos that I'll upload for you. So with these words, I thank you very much for watching this video. Kindly share various videos of this channel in various WhatsApp groups so that this could reach to the maximum possible number of people. Thank you, and see you in another video.